Our opening words are familiar ones in this community, and I think very fitting at this time of year, from Albert Schweitzer. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted that flame within us. So please join with me in this responsive chalice lighting. The flame of our chalice is the search for truth through knowledge. Knowledge of our heritage, knowledge of the beginnings of the patterns of our cultures, knowledge of the faiths that have given meaning and purpose to peoples of different lands. Our chalice lights the flame of gratitude. Gratitude for customs which make for full enjoyment of our physical beings. Gratitude for gifts of the Spirit translated into music, art, and pageantry. Gratitude for insights and ceremonies that bind peoples together and inspire them to strive for peace and goodwill among all peoples. Our chalice is the flame of conviction and faith. Faith to believe that someday all people shall be one in a spirit of respect for one another and in the quest for personal interpretations of the deepest meanings of this experience. Faith to dream of a world in which all peoples shall be one in gratitude for the contributions of all peoples. Faith to trust truth to overcome ignorance and misunderstandings and make us truly free to enjoy the glorious fulfillment of our common humanity. Thank you. Where did all this stuff come from anyway? Welcome to our Christmas service featuring the children and their parents from our congregation. We will begin by lighting this Advent wreath. Advent is a season celebrated by many Christian churches as a time of expectant waiting and preparation for the celebration of the birth of Jesus at Christmas. The term is a version of the Latin word meaning coming. Advent begins on the fourth Sunday before Christmas. Many families and churches light candles in an Advent wreath that contains 4 candles, 3 purple ones and 1 pink one. This year, Advent began on Sunday, November 29th, with the lighting of the first purple candle. The pink candle, which my mother told me stands for joy, was to be lit last Sunday, the 3rd Sunday of Advent. And today, the 4th Sunday of Advent, we can light the last purple candle right now. At this time of year, our Jewish friends celebrate Hanukkah, the festival of lights. Many years ago, the Holy Land was ruled by the Greeks, who tried to force the people of Israel to accept Greek culture and beliefs instead of observing their traditional beliefs in a single God. Against all odds, a small band of faithful Jews defeated one of the mightiest armies on earth, drove the Greeks from the land, and reclaimed the Holy Temple. When the Jews sought to light the temple's lights, there was only enough oil for 1 night. Miraculously, the oil lasted for 8 nights. Hanukkah is a celebration that includes special prayers and foods and the lighting of the menorah. Using a helper candle, each of the 8 other candles is lit, 1 a night for 8 nights. This year, the first Hanukkah candle will be lit on December 24th.
Wait a minute. What's going on here?
We are having our holiday family service.
Holidays? I love holidays. What are you celebrating?
Well, we've been lighting our Advent candles for the Christian celebration of Christmas and talking about the menorah, which will be lit during the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah.
Is that all? When you have so many festivals to choose from at this time of year?
Who are you?
I'm Owen Peel, one of the many well-educated high school students in our denomination. Many cultures celebrate light as a source of life and hope, usually at the darkest time of the year. Can I invite some of my friends out to tell the congregation about those festivals?
What do you think? Do you want to hear it? All right, please do.
I bring you the Hindu tradition of Diwali, which came in November this year. We clean and decorate our homes, drawing special good luck designs and lighting many lamps to welcome the Lakshmi, who is one form of the mother goddess, she who brings with her blessings for the coming year. There are also many fireworks, the givings of sweets and gifts, and dancing around the bonfire. We light a candle for Lakshmi and the blessings she brings.
I bring you the birth of the Persian god Mithras, the sun god. The Romans adopted this celebration around the 3rd century. Mithras was worshipped as a force of good, and those who joined Mithraism were baptized with water, and a consecrated meal was bread and water mixed with wine. And their symbol was a cross of light. The birthday of Jesus was moved around AD 350 to try to convert the pagan celebration to a Christian one. Other gods of light worshipped were Horus in Egypt, Adonis in Greece. We light a candle for the birth of Mithras and the sun gods.
This was also the time of Saturnalia, a celebration of the agriculture, god, and harvest, filled with gift-giving, food, noise, and merrymaking. At Saturnalia, the lowest person in the household became master or mistress and could rule the house for the day. The poor were fed and clothed and given gifts. We light a candle for Saturnalia and giving to those who are in need.
Kwanzaa, celebrated by some African Americans the week following Christmas, was established in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga after the African tradition of celebrating the harvest. The word Kwanzaa comes from the Swahili, which is the language I speak, for first fruits, and there's sharing of food, gifts, and family. Candles are lit on a kinara for the principles of unity, self-determination, collective work, responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. We light a candle for the festival of Kwanzaa and creating rituals of community.
I bring you the Japanese New Year's tradition of Janitsu and the story of Amaterasu, the sun goddess. It is said that she became so angry at her brother that she shut herself into a cave and left the world in darkness. The other gods sang and danced and recited sacred texts until she grew curious enough to peek out. Then they held a mirror in front of her, and she was so delighted by her radiant image that she came out. Then they put a rice straw rope over the cave entrance to keep the sun from going back in. We light a candle for Amaterasu and the coming light.
The winter solstice celebration in Sweden adopted the Christian martyr Saint Lucia for their holiday. Her name means light, and there is a legend that she brought food to the starving Swedish people during a famine, then disappeared. Each year, the eldest daughter of the household rises early on December 13th, and wearing a costume such as this one, sings while bringing coffee and sweet buns to adults in bed. We light a candle for the St. Lucia Day and sweet food at this time of year.
I bring you the winter solstice tradition, where bonfires were lit to tempt the sun to come back to earth on the longest night of the year. We celebrated with fires and food and chanting. We light a candle for winter solstice and the rebirth of light and hope.
There was also a Hopi ceremony for welcoming Old Man Winter, where rattles were shaken at the sun. And Bodhi Day, the Buddhist tradition of the Enlightenment, the Buddhist celebration of the enlightenment of Buddha. And Los Posados, the Mexican tradition of telling the story of Mary and Joseph's journey to Bethlehem with a candlelit procession, singing, special foods, and the breaking of a piñata. Phew, lots of festivals and celebrations at this time of the year. But did you ever wonder where all the traditional Christmas decorations came from? Our next set of congregation members will tell you.
The wreath is the ancient symbol of immortality. In different cultures, it has represented the womb of the Great Mother, the wheel of the year, the path of the sun, and the crown of achievement. Evergreens became popular as a symbol of life amidst the apparent death of the other trees during the winter. The earliest gifts were simply green branches, called strene, from Strenia, the Roman goddess of health. And later, these were made into wreaths and garland. We bring the wreath to this celebration to remember the circle of the year and of life.
Cora and I have the tree. The tree was also a symbol of life in the winter time. The Druids often brought boughs of trees inside to provide shelter for wood sprites believed to dwell in trees. Your modern-day Christmas tree derives part of its meaning from the paradise tree, a fir tree hung with apples used in an 11th century play about the creation of human beings and the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the garden. By the 15th century, people began putting up paradise trees to honor Adam and Eve on their feast day, December 24th. Others see the Christmas tree as a variation of the 9-branch menorah of the Jewish tradition. Still others credit Martin Luther for adding candles to the tree and bringing lights to the tree. But it was the Unitarian minister Charles Fullen who brought the tradition to America in 1832. We bring the fir tree to symbolize life.
All right, so Teal and I have holly and ivy. Holly was said to be a holy tree and a symbol of protection. Any wayfarer could find sanctuary under a holly bush. Ivy was a decoration for Saturnalia, said to have protected Bacchus or Dionysus from Jupiter. We bring holly and ivy to your celebration for protection.
Bells have always been symbols of the purest of all sounds that have welcomed goodness and drove away all evil. Bells were rung before sacred ceremonies and to celebrate births in many cultures and to warn of danger. We bring these bells for goodness.
Maren is carrying the Yule log, which was in Eastern Europe symbolized the burning of the old year and was brought in to burn brightly for 6 to 12 days through the holiday season. Some saved a piece of it for good luck and used it to light the new log each year. Since most homes were heated by fireplaces, the Christmas season was said to last for as long as the Yule log burned. We bring a Yule log for the warmth of the season. Alana's holding the mistletoe. The mistletoe was sacred to the Druids of England for its healing powers. They also chose the largest oak tree with mistletoe growing on it to hold their decision-making meetings. It became a symbol of contracts, and a kiss or embrace under the mistletoe sealed the peace. It became the tradition that a kiss under the mistletoe branch was good luck. We bring the mistletoe to your celebration for good luck.
Singing was also a part of the festivals in all cultures at this time of the year. Chanting and making music at the winter solstice, singing and dancing at Saturnalia, and the singing of Christian carols as early as AD 129. The first Christian music was very solemn and in Latin. In the 12th and 13th centuries, people wanted songs in their own language. Carols blossomed in England throughout the 16th century until the Puritans prohibited them, feeling that the joyousness and feasting at Christmas were too closely related to pagan festivals. Thank goodness the people persisted in them. We hope you've enjoyed our attempt to bring a fuller scope to the holidays to you in all of their difference and similarities. No matter where you have come from or what traditions your family has adopted or created, this time of year is filled with singing, rich food, family, gifts, and helping others in need. It is a time to open your hearts and to share our peace and hope and magic.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
In honor of all of you and all of you, our final words are in honor of beauty from Navajo people. Beauty is before me, and beauty behind me. Above me and below me hovers the beautiful. I am surrounded by it. I am immersed in it. In my youth, I am aware of it, and in old age, I shall walk quietly the beautiful trail. In beauty, it is begun. In beauty, it is ended.